Toprak Razgatlioglu arrived at Sepang as one of the most watched riders in the paddock. 3 WorldSBK titles, 78 race victories, and a reputation built on relentless, aggressive speed. His move to Pramac Yamaha was supposed to be the beginning of something significant. What followed across 5 days of testing in Malaysia was not what anyone had scripted. The results were stark. Razgatlioglu finished 18th on the combined timesheets, nearly 2 full seconds behind pace-setter Márquez. He failed to break into the top 10 on any day of running and, crucially, failed to find the consistent lap time rhythm that would have signalled early adaptation to the machine. This week, I learned something, but not much, because I'm still trying to adjust my riding style, he admitted afterward. We didn't start strong in the mornings, which frustrated me. For a rider of his standing, that is a difficult sentence to deliver publicly, and it sets the tone for what is shaping up to be a far more complicated debut season than either Razgatlioglu or Yamaha anticipated. The move itself carries risk that is now becoming clearer. Yamaha's new V4-powered YZR-M1 is not a refined, competitive platform. It is a prototype under active development, and the Sepang test exposed exactly how much work remains. Performance-wise, Yamaha finished bottom of all 5 manufacturers across the 3 days. Rins, their fastest rider on the final day, set a 1-minute 57.580, itself 1.178 seconds behind the overall benchmark. For a rider stepping into MotoGP for the first time, that deficit is not just a personal challenge, it is a structural one. That structural problem took a dramatic turn on day 2. After Fabio Quartararo experienced an engine stoppage at turn 2, Yamaha's engineers could not immediately identify the cause. The team kept every rider in the garage for the entire second day of official testing. No laps, no data. An entire day of critical pre-season preparation written off while engineering departments conducted investigations overnight. Yamaha subsequently confirmed that both Quartararo and Razgatlioglu had broken engines during day 1. The bikes returned on day 3, but with detuned power output to limit stress on a limited pool of components. We exactly had the mileage numbers for each test, Sepang and Buriram, team manager Massimo Meregali explained. We wanted to be sure that we were able to do the next test. The implications for Razgatlioglu are layered. He is adapting to a new category, new machinery, and new tyres simultaneously. He is now doing so with power restrictions, reduced track time, and on a machine whose reliability has raised genuine safety flags inside the manufacturer's own engineering structure. Paddock sources indicated that similar concerns had already emerged during the pre-season shakedown. The picture that emerges is of a rider who chose to enter MotoGP on a machine that may not be ready to give him what he needs. Across the paddock, the contrast could not have been more pronounced. Marc Marquez returned to action for the first time since shoulder surgery sidelined him in Indonesia last October. His opening day at Sepang yielded 1-minute 57.018 seconds and the top spot on the timesheets, 0.256 seconds clear of the field. It was the first lap he had set on a MotoGP machine in 121 days. He went straight to the front. Not bad, but 3 seconds slower than Alex, he remarked with characteristic self-assessment after his sprint simulation. Márquez concluded the test 4th overall behind only Alex Márquez, Marco Bezzecchi and Fabio Di Giannantonio. His assessment afterward was precise and pointed. We need to improve because there are 2 or 3 riders who are faster than us, he said. He was talking about himself, returning from surgery on a new aero package he hadn't finalised. But heard from further down the timesheets, where Razgatlioglu sat nearly 2 seconds adrift, those words land differently. MotoGP is a sport that operates at the front. Riders who understand its mechanics quickly know that time spent adapting is time spent falling behind. Márquez operates within that reality instinctively. Razgatlioglu is only beginning to understand its full weight. Valentino Rossi, whose VR46 team fields 2 Ducati-mounted riders now operating well within the competitive window, offered his read on the 2026 season landscape. "The level is very high," he said. "Every rider is formidable and every machine is powerful." That observation from someone who spent 26 years at the front of motorcycle racing is not simply a platitude. It is a reminder of what Razgatlioglu is entering. In MotoGP, Rossi observed from experience across his career, the psychological cost of losing confidence early can compound the technical deficit considerably. A rider who doubts his machinery, doubts his adaptations, and doubts his progress can find those doubts self-reinforcing in ways that pure talent cannot immediately reverse. That psychological dimension is present in Razgatlioglu's situation in a way he himself has not hidden. "I'm a bit demotivated," he admitted. "It's not easy to see my name so low." That honesty is striking from a rider of his stature. In WorldSBK, he was the standard against which everyone else was measured. At Sepang, he was watching riders he had never raced against pull away in corners he could not yet manage. "I see riders like Márquez on track," he said. "His bike turns beautifully and accelerates perfectly out of corners. Replicating that is tricky when my bike doesn't behave the same." The gap to Ducati is not simply mechanical, it is philosophical. Ducati's platform is established, trusted and refined across years of championship-winning development. Its riders arrive each season knowing what the machine requires. Razgatlioglu arrives on a V4 that needed its engine detuned to complete a test safely. The compounding effect of that gap in machinery, in tyre, knowledge and in track confidence is what makes his situation genuinely difficult. Pramac team manager Gino Borsoi offered a counterpoint. "He understood from the beginning really quickly and adapted super fast," Borsoi said. "We didn't see his real pace, but we saw his character, his ways of working, and he's already good for our MotoGP style." The team's assessment is that the Sepang numbers do not represent his ceiling, that the detuned engine, the lost day, and the ongoing riding style recalibration have compressed the picture. Whether it closes enough, and quickly enough, is the question the paddock is asking. The first race arrives on March 1st. "In Thailand, maybe we will try some different setups," Razgatlioglu said. "We need some different suspension setup because I need some help for the turning and more grip." 2 days at Buriram separate him from that opening round. 2 days to compress weeks of adaptation into something race-ready. And then, as he himself put it with unflinching clarity, "The first 5 races will be challenging. I'm going to suffer." That suffering was always likely. What nobody fully accounted for was how much of it would come not from Razgatlioglu's own limitations, but from the machine beneath him.